Oh, Narayana. Hari Om and good morning from Perrysville. And you don't know where that is, so this is Ohio. The most beautiful decision that we can all make in our lives, that anyone can make in any life, is that of surrendering. When one surrenders, they're surrendering that which causes us to flow lower. As long as I'm identified with my ego is going to make me flow lower to be extrovert. And so the most beautiful decision I can make in my life is to surrender the ego. But that's only possible if I'm holding on, if I'm identified with the higher. And that which is higher, deeper than the ego, is Bhagwan, is God. Our Vedanta and Ramayana course is a course in humility. Every other course that we're engaged in encourages arrogance or doesn't address humility. This course, the only focus is humility. And one knows that they're becoming more humble through the phrase, simple living, high thinking. The more simple I become in my lifestyle, the more that encourages high thinking. The more I think in a high way, the less I need a complex lifestyle. Simple living, high thinking. In Sundarakanda, we observed Mother Sita. And Mother Sita has shown us that the greatest adversity in our lives is being separate from God. All other adversities come from this original adversity. If we can address this original adversity, nothing can shake us. We've observed Bhagwan Rama, that his nature is Ananda, but he's feeling dukkha. Now why? Why is it that God's nature is happiness and he's feeling sad? He's trying to show us how we are. Our nature too is joy, but we still feel confusion and fear and sorrow. How great Bhagwan is that he's come to a level to lift us up. That shows the greatness of a teacher, is they'll simplify a message to lift our minds. We've observed Hanumanji, that a body that does not serve God is a worthless body. And we have to look at this in all levels. A profession that does not serve God is a useless profession. A marriage that is not directing us to God is a useless marriage. A mind that is not thinking about God is a useless mind. Hanumanji is using his whole life to serve God. When Hanumanji meets Mother Sita, she calls him Suta. What does Suta mean? Son. And when Hanumanji returns to Bhagwan Rama, he calls him Suta. Mother Sita calls Hanumanji Suta first. Then Bhagwan Rama calls Hanumanji Suta. And this is so beautiful how Goswamiji has shared this. From a scriptural perspective, we say, Matra Devo Bhava, then Pitra Devo Bhava. Mother is God, Father is God. From a biological perspective, The tendency is for the mother to see the child before the father. Don't tell Sheila, but I'm fortunate that I got to see Vyasa before she did. With Hanumanji returning to Bhagwan Rama and telling Bhagwan Rama that Mother Sita is waiting for you, here ends the focus of Sundarakanda on Hanumanji, or the Shiva part of Kanchi. Each chapter, each kanda is associated with a city. This chapter is associated with Kanchi, and in Kanchi, Bhagwan Shiva is the focus and Bhagwan Vishnu. In Goswamiji's Ramayana, Shiva Kanchi ends where the focus on Hanumanji ends, and Vishnu Kanchi begins with the focus on Vibhishana. Whereas in other Ramayanas, as soon as the animals reach Rameshwaram, that kanda ends. Sundarakanda is done. So they only focus on the Shiva part. How beautiful Goswamiji is in his writing, how inclusive he is. That there's more beauty than just reaching Rameshwaram. It is this Sharanagati of Vibhishana surrendering to Bhagwan Rama. And today's class is going to focus on that. I'm on the 41st section of Chopais, and I am reading the third Chopai, the second line, 41, 3, 2. Asa kahi keen he si charana prahara, anuja gahe pada barahi bara. After Ravana says to Vibhishana, if you love Rama so much, go to him. And then he kicks Vibhishana. If you think about younger siblings fighting with each other, it's quite natural. But if you think of two adult siblings fighting with each other with their kicks and their punches, it would really hurt you to see such a fight, even if it's not your own family. And Ravana is a huge being. You can envision that Vibhishana is probably pretty lean. I don't know why I think that, but he's probably pretty lean. And Ravana kicks him. And what does Vibhishana do? He goes back to Ravana's feet and says again and again, let go of your animosity with Ravana. We see such beauty, with Rama, we see such beauty in Vibhishana's personality in what we're going to study, leading up to this. When Bhagwan Rama told Sugriva, let's march, let us find Mother Sita, all of those monkeys were inspired, but they were still scared because they know of Ravana, how big he is, how mean he is, and how his sons must be like that too. So Bhagwan Rama looked at each one of those beings, all of the monkeys, all of the bears, and with his look, each monkey and bear felt like they were a mountain. If you think of how steady, how strong a mountain is, they all felt like that, but mountains with wings. A mountain can't move. These are mountains on the move. And so they started, and imagine millions of beings marching in sync in the same direction. The whole earth was shaking. And this was felt, this earthquake and tremor was felt all the way in Lanka. And Mother Sita, she's sitting on the ground, correct? She feels this. The left side of her body starts to throb. In our tradition, and don't ask how or why, just go with the flow. When the left side of a Devi's, of a female's body throbs, that's a good omen, okay? But think about this, right? That also may be a stroke. In this case, it was not. As I'm saying, think, okay? Before you just go with the flow. And for a Deva or a male, it's the right side of their body. So Mother Sita's left side started throbbing. Her temple, her eye, her arm. And fascinatingly, Ravana's left side also started throbbing because that shows bad omens for him. As the monkeys and the bears started moving, Goswamiji says some were in the air and some were on the land, some were on the land and some were in the air. Monkeys and bears don't fly, but I said they're mountains with wings. They were so inspired, they were jumping and landing and jumping. When I think about this, I think about, if you've seen any of the Hulk movies, there's one scene where Hulk escapes from this area and he's in the desert in Arizona or New Mexico and he's just jumping so high and the helicopters can't catch them. They copied that from this march. And Goswamiji writes so beautifully that there was such synchronicity and power that Shesha, the snake that holds up this earth, couldn't bear it anymore. His head, his neck kept on bending, and a snake has fangs. This snake was trying to seek support of Kurma, of the turtle that's holding up all of this, and those fangs kept on scratching the shell of that turtle. And in that snake scratching the shell of the turtle was writing Ramayana. Such poetry that Ramayana was written by Sheshnaga on Kurma shell, and Kurma was happy with this being written like that. The Vedanta to think about in all of this. So many of us, when we come to an altar, when we go to an altar, what do? The first part of our prayer is begging, isn't it? I want this. And I say I need this, but really it's I want this. So the first part is begging, and the second part is distributing problems, right? Look after this problem. Look after this problem. But in all of this, we come to appreciate the statement, don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is. Those monkeys and bears were so strong because who was behind them? Bhagwan Rama. If you with faith know that God has your back, will you ever be confused or afraid or sad? This definitively ends the Shiva part of Sundarakanda, and we leave Bhagwan Rama and Hanumanji here, and now let's go to Lanka. Now in Lanka, all of the Rakshasas are afraid because they all keep thinking that if the messenger of Bhagwan Rama can burn down the whole kingdom, what's going to happen when the boss of this messenger comes? What's going to happen when Bhagwan Rama comes? And every one of them was feeling that, but nobody spoke this. Why? Lanka is a dictatorship. In a dictatorship, what did they censor first? Freedom of speech. You see that happening in the world too, copied. See the accuracy here. Freedom of speech is censored, so nobody's saying anything. But now we're in an understanding marriage retreat. What a subordinate and a supervisor and so on cannot tell a spouse can tell a spouse, correct? We wish it weren't like that, but it happens. Mandodari, she's a great Rani, she's a great queen. She is a strong politician, administrator. She has her people living in the kingdom, and she's having those people bring information back to her. And she's hearing that in people's homes they're talking about how afraid they are. So she tells Ravana, our people are afraid. When Rama comes, how will they be strong enough to fight? You should return Mother Sita back to Bhagwan Rama. And whenever Ravana is given good advice, what does he do? What's his favorite pastime? Think about a Bollywood serial. Laugh. Bihasati, you know? His big belly's moving and his hair's all over the place. He's laughing. And I had shared earlier, when you learn to laugh at yourself, the whole world laughs with you. Yesterday we had a beautiful extracurricular activity where different people in our retreat, they recorded themselves enacting a scenario. Like a husband who's tired and doesn't want to help with a meal, and a wife has to go to work, and they're having this dialogue. And everyone was laughing with them because they were laughing too. Laughing at how sad their life. No. But if a husband and wife can't laugh at themselves, then everyone else starts to laugh at them. Ravana was so insecure. He didn't know how to laugh at himself, so he just had this fake laugh, even at his own wife. Mandodari, who's trying to help him. This upadesha. And it shows, this laughter shows how distracted Ravana is by Mother Sita. When someone is lusty, they become completely irresponsible, isn't it? We see that so much with corruptible athletes, politicians, that instead of focusing on their game or the country, they're being lusty, correct? They're using their power. If you're following along carefully, throughout Ramayana, Ravana had set up checkposts in Bharat, isn't it? The demons were here, the demons were here, the demons were here, Maricha, Shurpanakha, etc. And they would report back to Ravana. Now the enemy, that is Bhagwan Rama to Ravana, has reached the border of their kingdom. Which great leader is going to allow that to happen? The best defense is a strong offense. You keep the ball in their court. You keep the war in their country, not in one's own. But he's distracted. When we lose track of our responsibilities, the world starts pushing us around. Ravana, after he heard Mandodari, asks his ministers, tell me the word. Tell me what we are to do. And what did they all do? They started laughing too. There's nothing to do. You've defeated demons before. These are just monkeys. And they're saying that outside, but do they feel that inside? They're being hypocritical. But who's sitting amongst those ministers? Vibhishana. Everyone else is lying or is silent. Vibhishana goes and calls Ravana Tata, which means father. He's the younger brother. He calls him father. And in a satya, hita, and priya way, in a truthful, beneficial, sweet way, he tells Ravana, all of this is happening because you've kidnapped a wife of a husband. You focus on your own responsibilities and start this by returning what is not yours. You're treating her like a possession. And Vibhishana shares a powerful line. This is, we're not going to focus on this too much. This is the 38th Doha. Kama, Krodha, Mada, Lobha, Sabha. And you know these words. What does Kama mean? Desire. Krodha, anger. Mada, arrogance. And Lobha, greed. Sabha. All of these are Natha. Natha means royal. Pantha, royal paths to Naraka. These are not ordinary paths to hell. These are direct routes to hell. There's no stopover. This is the Toronto to Delhi flight. You know, you get there fast. So he's telling his brother, Natha Narake ke Panda. These are the royal paths. And I love how he says this. In Bhagavad Gita we study, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, the royal knowledge, royal secret. He's calling this the royal path to hell. And Swami Tejomayananda had shared, he said, hell is dukkha bhoga sthana. What is hell? Where there's dukkha. Dukkha means sorrow. Bhoga means you're experiencing sorrow, and sthana means you're stuck there. To be stuck in the experience of sorrow is naraka. Have any of you been to naraka before? Have you been to hell? Everyone's giggling right now. We've all been to hell. When someone is feeling jealousy, aren't they stuck in that experience of sorrow? And if that person's in the same room, it's like I'm underneath the ground of that place. We've all been to hell. And Vibhishana is telling Ravana, you're in hell too. Come out. Hell is not outside, hell is inside. Vibhishana tells Ravana, what you think of as a man and his wife, this man is Anamaya. He is not Maya, he is the antidote to Maya. He is Veda Dharma Ratchakaha. He is the protector of Dharma. And those who protect Dharma are led to Brahma. Those who are responsible are joyous. So he's very subtly teaching Ravana, he's the opposite of you. You're not following your responsibilities and you're not happy. But he's the protector of that. And then Vibhishana brings in precedent. He says, Ravana, you know who our grandfather is? Where our lineage comes from? Pulastya, correct? Ravana and that family, their lineage is from Pulastya Rishi. He's a great Rishi. This Rishi sent his disciple to tell Vibhishana, at one point in our family's lifetime, a monkey is going to come and give you support, and following that monkey is God. At that time, you should reveal to your brother that this is not a man, but this is God. So Vibhishana is saying, this is not my opinion. This is not what I'm just feeling, but there's a whole lineage. Like if you went to a pujari and said, read my hands, and he says, in your Janam Patri, there's this, and this, yeah. Correct? So here, Ravana is not listening to advice, so he's bringing in this precedent. And after he hears this, Malyavan is there. Malyavan is Ravana's mother's father. So Nanaji, correct? Malyavan is there too, and he says, Vibhishana is right. And Ravana completely ignores his grandfather. So Malyavan says, I'm out of here. And he checks out. He just leaves that assembly because Ravana really can't do anything to him. So he leaves there. Now, Ravana then says, is there anyone here who will arrest this Vibhishana and get him out of my sight? And what do all the ministers do? Nothing. Why? They found out about Trijata's dream. In Trijata's dream, there's a monkey who burns down Lanka, and Vibhishana becomes the eventual king. Now the first part has happened, correct? A monkey burned down Lanka, so now they all think the future king is going to be Vibhishana. If they cause him any harm, that's going to be their suffering. So they know about this dream. So they just kind of look down. Like when I ask you questions, you always just... So all of the ministers are just looking down. And it's at this point that Ravana says, if no one else is going to do anything, he kicks Vibhishana. Go to your beloved Rama. But Vibhishana goes back again and again and again to help Ravana understand. In this case, it's almost like Vibhishana is the guru and Ravana is the shishya, almost. Again and again and again, the guru is saying it like this, showing like this, encouraging this. This shows how great Vibhishana is, how he truly is a sadhu. A noble person gives back good for evil. When an evil comes to me, I give more evil back. Don't, like kids do, right? You're dumb. You're dumb times infinity. You're dumb time infinity times infinity, right? It's an arms race with words. But with Vibhishana, for all of the evil, and it's not just emotional abuse now, it's physical abuse. Ravana can go to jail for this. It's documented. But he keeps giving back goodness. How great Vibhishana is. And now some people think, this Vibhishana was a traitor. He left Ravana, went to Bhagwan Rama. But a traitor is someone who's deceitful. At no point is Vibhishana being hypocritical, correct? Fully honest, Vibhishana. And he tried, not once, not twice, he tried again and again and again. It's like, if there's a great opportunity and I whisper, you're far over there, hey, lunch is ready. And then you don't hear me, I'm going to eat all of this then, right? There's no trying in that, but he took abuse, emotional and physical abuse to try to help him. One can't say that Vibhishana is a traitor. That would be very worldly in thinking. That kick was the permission almost for Vibhishana to leave Lanka. And as he's leaving Lanka, he actually says to all of the people there, if you stay here, it's as good as you being dead. And he didn't say it in a passive-aggressive way. He's saying, Ravana's not listening to me, you at least listen to me, and some came with him. Some ministers did come with him. You know what the main predicament for Ravana in all of this is? Avidya. What does avidya mean in English? Ignorance, and in a more casual way I've said it means forgetting. Ravana is forgetting that Rama is Bhagwan. And when he forgot that Rama is Bhagwan, he started to think he is a man, a human. That's why Ravana is not listening. He's treating Bhagwan Rama as a man, as a human, instead of as Bhagwan. He doesn't see any utility in this advice. And I'm so fascinated how our relationship with Vedanta is very much like that too. We are being taught independent joy. We call that moksha. But for some of us, this is just another course, just another workshop. And it's almost like it's virtual, so it's even more casual then, correct? It's like us being Ravana. These are words. We actually don't have the faith or the depth to appreciate Ravana, that this is Bhagwan Rama. For us, this is the ayana to Rama. This is the path. This is actually the Nata Panta, the royal path to independent joy. And I'll complete our thoughts on all that is leading up to Vibhishana's Sharanagati. There's a famous and important line in Sundarakanda. This is the 42nd section of Chopais. This is the first Chopai, the second line. Sadhu avagya turata bhavani. Bhagwan Shiva speaking to Mother Parvati and says, Sadhu avagya. One who is evil to a noble person. One who is disrespectful to one who is an ambassador of God. Turata. Turata means fast. Like Turanti. What happens? Kara kalyana akila ke hani. All of the kalyan in our lives, that is all of the positivity, all of the merit, all of the benefits, blessings in our lives, akila, all of them, turata, quickly are hani, are burned up. And in this famous and important line, we are to appreciate the importance of satsanga. And satsanga, where there's a sadhu, even more so. That this is the game changer for us, for those who know, in the positive, for those who don't know, in the negative. You see the difference between Ravana and Vibhishana. For Vibhishana, it was a game changer in the positive. For Ravana, it was a game changer in the negative. And this is a perfect introduction into Vibhishana's Sharanagati, an important and beautiful part of Sundarakanda, which we will continue next week. Narayan.